Hi, welcome back to our channel again. In this video, we will see how we can locate the HTML element by attribute name. Using name attribute, we can specify a name for an HTML element. Okay, and HTML name this is not required to be unique. Okay, but it can be unique, but it is not mandatory. But for ID, it should be unique on the document. And this HTML name attribute is used mostly in forms to reference the element when data is submitted. Okay, so these are the more or less about HTML name attribute. Now let's see how it looks in our HTML page. So I'm in our website like my fewsteps.blogspot.com, and I'm going to testing, and after that there is a Selenium practice. I'm going to this link. In this page we see there is one form, like a small form, and two fields like name field, and both of them are name, but one is first name and there is last name, and here is two text box. And let's inspect this element first. So I'm going to right click and then I'm choosing inspect, and the Chrome developer tool will be loaded down here. Okay, now we can inspect by selecting this. It will be bluish color, and then if we move our cursor on top of it, and then it will identify this is the element. Okay, so here we see that this is input tag, and there is couple of attributes like type attribute, id attribute, name attribute, value attribute. Okay, so this tutorial actually will discuss about the name attribute. So here name equal to f name. Okay, and there is another input box. If we move if I try to inspect by clicking there, it will be bluish color, and then if we move our cursor on top of it, it will be here. Okay, so we are seeing there this is also identified by name equal to last name, L name. Okay, so basically two text boxes here. One is this line, and there is this line, and both of them has name attribute, like name equal to first name for the first one, and name equal to L name, that is the last name for this one. So two text box and two name tag. So here we will see how whether we are able to locate this element by name tag or not. Okay, so we have to write some code using Selenium and Python. But before going that, let's check the name one more time. So here name equal to f name for the first one. Okay, and the first second one L name. And let's do one thing. Let's do this first name, it will be the same. Okay, so I try to inspect this element from our Selenium and Python code. Okay, so we already inspected by using Google Chrome's developer tool, by using that, and we are seeing that this is the thing. Okay, now let's go to the code. So basically in our previous tutorial, this is the id tutorial, example HTML id. So what we'll do, the code will be almost same, only this part will be different, because here previously we find the element by id, now we'll find by name. Okay, so what I will do, I will make a copy of this thing. So I'm going to right click and copy, and then I'm going to paste it here, paste, and I will rename this thing. This is example HTML. Suppose this is name. So I'm typing example HTML name dot py, and we can click OK. So once this code was for ID. Okay, so here what we can do, we can actually remove this part, or actually we can modify. Let's modify it, will be faster. Okay, so example HTML ID, previously the class name was that. So this is a name tag attribute, a name attribute example, right? So we can rename it name, and then after that this will be the same. This is the base URL, that means this page. Okay, and then this is the driver, that is fine. Base URL, it is calling with get method, that means it is telling open that URL using this Chrome browser. Okay, and then we have to modify these lines. Okay, so now the element name, suppose element name is element name, and then what we have to do, we have to find the element by name. Okay, so what we can do, driver dot find element by name, right? So here is the find element by name, we are seeing that. So we have to choose this thing. So I'm double clicking it, and then it will auto complete. Then we have to put the HTML name tag in single quote. So we can go there. Suppose we want to inspect this element. So here name element value is I mean the name attribute, it has value f name. So we can double click and right click and copy and go to PyCharm and then put it here. So I'm pasting it, and then it is pointing that driver.file element by name, and this is the attribute name. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to check whether this element is there or not. So we have to rename this. We can copy and then we can remove this thing and we can paste it, and we can check if element name is not none, then print found name attribute, name element. For example, we just put it naming element, and then we can put type the element details. Okay, and then we can wait for a few seconds, like 50 seconds, and then after that we have to this is the class, right? Then we have to call this whole class. So how can we call? We have to call by using the class name. So here the class name is example HTML name, and after that we have to put this parenthesis, and finally we have to call this method, right, or function test id. So we can actually change this name as this is name. So we can type name, make it simple, remove name, just make the function name test, and then we can call the function from here. This is cd chrome driver equal example HTML name. So we are creating an object of this class, and finally we have to call this method or function. So cd dot test, if we call it, then it will automatically call. Okay, so that's all to finally to inspect element. That means if you want to find any name tag using Selenium and Python together, we have to write this code. So only the difference is here, actually find element by name. This is the major difference compared to the find element by id. So now let's run this thing and check whether it is working properly or not. If it is working, then it will show this message that found name element, and then it will print the whole name element thing. Okay, so let's run it. You can run from here, or you can right click and then you can choose run example HTML name, and it will start running this script, and it will open Chrome browser, and it is going to that website and that link, the whole URL, and after that it is trying to inspect this element. Okay, and it will wait because we put some sleep time 50 seconds. Okay, so it will wait 50 seconds. After 50 seconds it will be closed, and we are seeing that found name element by this line. It is showing the find new element, and it is also printing the element name, the whole element it is printing here. Okay, so we're seeing that successfully it is executing both of things. And once the 50-second is over, then what will happen? This browser will be closed automatically. So once the sleeping time is over, then the browser will be closed automatically, and we will get this message: process finished with exit code 0. That means there is no error and our code executed successfully. Okay, and that's all. In this way you can use HTML element. If your page, if your web page, if there is any name tag, name attribute is there, then you can inspect that element, and finally you can actually call that thing from your code, and you can easily identify that object from your Python and Selenium code. And this is the sample output which you saw, and that's all. So hopefully guys, by watching this video actually we didn't modify much more, because we created this thing. This is the skeleton we created in other tutorial. If you don't know how to do this thing, please check those video. Here what we just modified this, basically this part is the main modification: find element by name. We're using this tag to inspect element by name attribute. Okay, so that's all. I think this video is helpful. If you feel this is helpful and useful, please hit the like button, and if you still didn't subscribe, please subscribe to our channel, and see you on the next video.